Coming up in this video, you're going to see a bit of this, but first I'm going to waffle on about how I got them. Let's go. What's going on, Coco? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you for being here. Today I'm going to have a little chat about my 5 little secret sourcing methods that get me good stock. Quite often I get people saying,
"How did you get such a good deal on that?"
Because you're on YouTube, you get good deals.
well, it doesn't work fully like that. Sometimes you need to think outside the box, and this big cranium of mine may look stupid to some, but I am always thinking outside the box when it comes to my business, the way I source the things I buy, and I'm always trying to learn new things. I've tested and trialed so many different methods, whether I've learned them from other people or I've simply just picked them up in my own little head. But these 5 in particular, I'm going to show you. They are the way that I get some of my best stock. That's right, my best. And, well, should I be telling you? Because people in my general area may steal these ideas and use them, and it might go against me. But I don't really care. If it helps somebody, fantastic. I'm not an education channel. I never plan to be an education channel, but I like to share the things I do see and hear because I have a lot of good friends that watch this, and if it can help them in some little way, then it makes me happy. I did do a video last year, or maybe 2 years ago now, where I did talk about a few different ways that I do get stock. And one of the main ones that I knew a lot of people, especially on social media, don't talk about was the handout flyers. I made up a business card a long time ago, and simply on my daily walk, I could fling them into people's letterboxes and have my number, all the things that I buy or trade, and things that I collect as well, so people locally could contact me. Now, yes, if you put out too many, you can get offered a lot of crap, but you can also get offered some good deals, and it has worked really successful for me in the past. One thing that I like to target was houses that have for sale signs out the front, because you know they want to clear some stuff. That was in a previous video, so today I'm going to talk about the things that I haven't spoken about before, and I don't recall other people talking about them, but maybe they have. Now, a couple of these are bangers. There's obviously, if you're new to reselling and you don't even know where to start, a lot of YouTubers, including myself, would have mentioned things. You start around your house, you find stuff you don't use. You'd be very surprised at the amount of things you've got. You can go to op shops, thrift stores, garage sales. You can go to local auctions if there is any, deceased estates. You can go and bid on abandoned storage units like I have in the past. There's videos on this channel from that. There's all those different sorts of methods in sourcing. And another one is buying on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, your local advertising classifieds. Now it's easy, you can scroll through, you can pick what you want, you can send them a message, you can try and get a better deal and go from there and pick some stuff up. And a lot of people do that, that's an obvious one, but I like to change things up when I'm doing this. How do I do it? So you may think to yourself, you can waste a lot of time online making conversations and trying to get deals done. When in reality, if you go out and spend a day thrifting for 6 hours, then you could waste a hell of a lot of time and get absolutely nothing. Something that I do like to do now on Marketplace, I struggled because I wasn't always on there. I'm not really fully active on Marketplace all the time. And to get the good deals, you've got to be there, right place, right time. Same as an op shop, eh? Which makes it really hard. That's why I actually like to try and beat the competition to the item. How do I do that? Now, here's a couple of methods. Part 1, part 2. Part 1 is one of my favorite ways of sourcing, and that is actually finding stuff on Marketplace that's, it's okay. And if you do get a deal, and here's another one people talk about, you ask if they've got more. Simple as that. So have you got more stuff? Have you got any more of this item? That's not what I'm actually talking about right now though. I actually go outside the box on this. If somebody, for argument's sake, is offering up an item such as a box of books, I will think outside the box. It might be not something that I want, but I'll pop the question, do you have some comic books as well? They may say, no, I don't. Or they may say, yeah, I do, and they might be willing to sell that item. But then you can further progress the conversation by asking even more questions. You know, I love that 90s feel. Do you have any vintage 90s toys? Do you have any toys up in the cupboard that you're just not using anymore? Were these your kids' toys? Are you storing them for any particular reason? Do you need them? Try and play it down a bit. I collect this stuff. Be honest, I sell this stuff. For me, I do collect a lot of stuff, so it makes it so much easier. I don't like lying. I like being pretty straight up with people. If I'm going to sell them, I'm going to sell them. Simple as that. I have a business to run, and that's how I get stock. The retro games sitting in the cupboard, they're just blowing off dust. Look, I can give you $100 for those. I can give you 150. What do you got? Does it work? I have been doing that recently, and it's really got me some stock, or some really good stock, and it's something that I'm going to continue to do. And I've set a little goal, and I try and do that with maybe 5 people each day. And if I only hit one for the week, and if it's $1,500 worth of stuff, my 15 minutes a day was worth it. Very similar to what I just previously said is actually hitting up garage sales on the Monday after they've been on.
Who's the dumbass?
Yeah, that's right. They still have the ads up, and you can flick through the ad, see what they've got. Most likely anything good that was in the ad is probably gone. But you ask anyway, if they've still got that or what's left. You couldn't make it on the weekend, but you might be interested. I've just got back from a pickup and really excited. This is where I've implemented a method. This is a garage sale that finished 3 days ago. It's been heavily picked over. She was about to pull the ad down, and I just popped the question, like what's left, and it started the conversation. So what happened, there's a bunch of old board games sitting on the ground, and I just said, is any of them available still? And there was a couple there, nothing that I'm actually interested in. But I just said I like games and all that sort of stuff. Would you happen to have any video games? And she said, I think there's some in the cupboard. They were my kids, I don't know if they'd want to sell them, but I don't know, I'll have a look. 2 days later, she gets back to me. I didn't think we'd have any progress, but she said, yeah, I found an Xbox and a PlayStation. What would you want to pay? And I said, well, I'd have to see them first. I didn't want to drop a number just based on photos. They could be all scratched, they could be fake, the console might not work, I don't know. So do you mind if I swing over and have a look? I didn't film the deal while I was in her house, but basically, I was avoiding giving a price out. I didn't want to give that price. And she just said, look, they're sitting in the cupboard. If you want them, $50 will do. So I've grabbed an Xbox, a PlayStation, coming on, I'll show you, and a lot of games. So it works out, I don't even know what per game. I don't know how many was there. I don't even know if there's any bangers. I don't think there's anything crazy, but there's definitely money. I'll show you. Let's have a look. I'm pumped with this one. So the box there, we've got the original Xbox console. Fortunately, it was only the PS Slim. We had a couple of controllers each for them in the other box, but then just a heap of games. So there's, well, they're not crazy games, but they'll bundle fine. Some Tony Hawk there. Well, there's a lot of basic games there, but then a lot of PS2 games. So, and this started from me inquiring about some shit Kmart board games. I understand this isn't a super crazy deal or anything. It's there's from to the naked eye until I go through it, there's no crazy bangers in there, but that's a lot of stock just by popping that question. And I inquired on 3 ads, got a hit on 1, so I'm pretty happy with that. $50, and there's quite a bit of good shit there. So just an example, I don't want to just sit here and say do this, do that. It does work. I'm only going to sort of talk about things that I actually do and that actually work for me. Me being someone that is on social media, like, I want to be transparent and honest 100% when I do talk and when I talk about things. And you get these people that are educational, and yes, I know they're trying to pump their channel, but you have to do this, you got to do that, do this, do that, this is how you make money, that's how you make money. I don't really like that. Whereas someone that puts a title, this is how I made money, I really like that. That sucks me in, because that's someone showing that they've actually done something rather than telling you to go and do it because you'll be successful. And I don't know, it's a big difference. So that's why I wanted to show that. It was just one that's been this week. So, but these are all stuff that I'm doing on the regular, and they are really, really benefiting my business and my mental health, because it's like when you get something like that where you do get that stuff that wasn't even advertised, nobody else knew about it, you're the only one that had the ability to get that. It feels so good. This is also what you can do when you are going to a local pickup to get some stuff. That's where you spark the conversation. What else you got? And it's just a question that I ask every time now. unless it looks like they're going to punch my head in, I'll ask every single time I go to a deal now, what have you got? Have you got any more? I'm really interested in this stuff. And if you do have that business card, leave it with them. They can contact you, even better. Another way that I like to get stock via op shops, and this is a really good way to get out the back of an op shop, and it's worked quite well for me, and it's also helped me build relationships with some of my local ones and some that aren't even local to me in other towns. When I go there, they remember me now because I always ask for the things that I'm interested in. Once I've done the rounds, I get chatting with the staff. I'm always friendly with the staff. And once again, I'm open and honest. If they ask what I do with this sort of stuff, I tell them, I sell, so be it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. That's your job. That's how you make money. It is what it is. I don't just blatantly go up and say,
I sell stuff, give me something cheap.
I just simply, if they ask, I'll tell them. But I almost always, not really locally anymore because I don't need to, but if I'm somewhere new, I quite often ask them if they have the things I like, and usually I'll ask if they've got any video games or AFL stuff. I've been standing on the rack. I collect football jumps. I'm a really passionate jumper collector, and what this has led is quite often they say, actually there's some stuff out here if you want to have a look at. It hasn't been priced yet. If it's something that I'm very aware of that's worth really good money, I'll offer them good money for it. It saves them having to price it and put it out, wait for it to sell sort of thing. They're happy to move it on. And once you're out there, that's when you can start getting those conversations going. I understand a lot of op shops aren't comfortable with that, and if they aren't, respect them. If they don't want you out there, that's fair enough. A lot of people are trying to get out the back of an op shop and trying to get to the stuff before it goes out on the floor. Be very respectful of them, but if they do give you that opportunity, be grateful. And if you do have the opportunity to pay them a little bit more, I highly recommend it, because most of these places, well, all of these places, the money is going to charity. So I think that's fantastic. But I always pop the question, what old toys? You know, you're not accepting toys anymore. Why not? What do you got out the back? There's no video games on the shelf. I'm on the hunt for video games. Have you got any? It's just always worth it. This has worked wonders for me, which has also built me some relationships locally where they actually sometimes will contact me because they are unsure if something has a good price on it, because they know I'll pay probably better money than what they're going to put on it. So some people will frown upon that.
You're a prick.
You dodgy bastard.
You don't deserve to get into the op shop before asking.
Never on a fair go.
Well, it's using initiative, and everybody has a mouth and they have the ability to do the same thing. So, look, it's there. Pop the question. It's if you can't handle other people, do it. Jump in. Do it yourself. Creating relationships. Yes, that's right. So basically, a lot of people will say, and a lot of people will agree, put it out there that you do this. Tell everyone you know, and well, it's fantastic when people reach out. Quite often, family and friends just want to support you, and they'll give you stuff. And for me personally, I find that hard to accept freebies. I generally want to pay them, but some people just need the stuff gone and they really want to support you. So that's great. But not just family and friends. Get the word out there to anyone. If you're out for dinner and you start having a chat to someone, tell them what you do. Start communicating. This thing here is the best friggin' tool that you have in your business. Yes, I've got a big, loud mouth, and I do like to talk to people, and if I'm talking about what I do, I love it, I'm passionate, so I'm talking about it all the time. I highly recommend that. So if you are generally just chatting to someone, you're at the cafe getting a coffee, talking to the woman behind the bar that's serving you, and you start sparking up a conversation saying the things you buy, she might have something up on the shelf that interests you. So I like that. I do this for a job, and I pick all these types of items. Do you have anything you want to sell? You're asking, it's your mouth. The mouth is honestly the best tool that you have in this reselling game, and I can't emphasize that enough, because it seriously can get you into some really good places. Wholesale is something that I do a lot of, and I've built some really good connections from doing that, whether it be importing. I have, regular people that I buy off. Now, this is another really good way to expand your business, but the thing is, there's a lot of trial and error. You're not probably going to find the best wholesaler straight up. You're probably going to have to take some that are pretty ordinary. But communication, if you can actually contact them, ring them. I recommend ringing them rather than just sending an email. Ask them exactly what they've got. This thing, it's coming into play again, this big fucking fluffy thing on my head. you can request them to do a live video with you and see what's in there to make sure it's right for you. If you can build that actual relationship, a really good relationship with these people that do a professional or a business wholesale, that is a huge factor. But you can also factor in, we're in a community, a really, really good community, and there's a lot of good people that sell a wide variety of different things, and they're all looking to make a buck or two, but we can't be in every niche, simple as that. I personally have 3 personal thrifters now in different states, and that is just from communicating. Now, yes, I know there's a little bit of advantage because I do have a YouTube channel, and I am able to communicate to people because of that. People have found my channel as it's growing, and that is an advantage that I have in this space. But there's nothing stopping you from just having an Instagram and communicating with those that do what you do, because most people don't see this as competition. They want to support one another. So through doing all this, you only need to start a little Instagram account and just casually chat to a few people that are interested in what you do. And from me doing that, now I have someone in Queensland and someone in New South Wales that pick up me one specific type of item, and that's jeans. It's a flooded market. They're in every op shop, and so many people do not want to sell that stuff. I do it because, now I enjoy it. It's bread and butter. I do have wholesale contacts, but having these personal thrifters has worked out really good for me. And what I did for them, I built up a list of brands that I'm looking for. Now, obviously there's different models, different sizes, different styles, and they sell for different prices. So I had to try and average it out to a basic price that I pay for each brand. This way, how that works for them, if they're picking everything up for say $5 each, and then I'm paying them $8 or $9, it means I don't have to lose time out there sourcing this stuff, and it's shipped straight to my house. They make a couple of bucks and I still make some money. So I actually save the extra money I've paid by being at home listing other stuff. So this is another really great way of sourcing items, and that's by other resellers. And you can probably do this for, resellers as well. If you don't sell DVDs or you don't sell jeans or something like that, but you see them all the time, you could help somebody else out. They could give you their list and you could go through and get that, charge a couple of bucks on top of everything they get, and you can make a little bit of money, and then they take the big profits when they sell it. So another way that I love to source. And this one is being someone that we probably all hate, and that's a lowballer. But it can work in your favor. Lowballing other resellers, and it can get quite annoying, and if someone's doing it to you too badly, then you block them, simple as that. But there's so much potential in sourcing on websites such as eBay. I buy a lot to sell from eBay. There's been stuff that I've been able to pick up for 20, 30 bucks and sell for 150. Sometimes people just don't have the international market on, and I find that with a lot of vintage toys. They sell really well internationally for me, but they don't sell that well here in Australia. So comps are all over the joint. So once you sort of have a solid niche and you understand the products that you're selling, you can have an understanding that maybe this was only selling cheap here, but I can flog that off internationally. Or it's been, listed badly. The photos are bad. The title just has no keywords. There could be a lot of errors. And if you find something like that within your niche, sometimes it's worth jumping onto that person's store, having a flick through, seeing all the stuff they've got, doing the numbers in your head, working out what's going to work for you, where you can make a profit. If you're 100% sure this is a good item, fang a heap of offers. Just offers after offer. If you can pick up 10, 20 items in bulk off a reseller. And I understand some people are just trying to make a few bucks, and they may still make a couple of dollars on it. They wake up in the morning and see so many offers on so many items. There's $500 coming in today for them. Yeah, they're only probably profiting, $100, $50 or something once they all sell. But sometimes it's items they've had for a long time, and you can do a better listing than them. So then once you get them, you've got that in bulk, then you can sort of mark it up, list it correctly, and make some profit. There's also, obviously there's auctions. Auctions are a great way because, I don't personally sell a lot of auctions unless I'm trying to clear stuff, for the sole reason is I might have a very particular item that, there's only 5 people in the world chasing this item. I sell a lot of really, one-off stuff plus some really rare stuff. And sometimes the buyer may take a while to get there as well. So if that buyer isn't actually looking on eBay that week, if you've got a 5-day auction or something, there might not be that bidding war. If you can pick it up kind of cheap at auction, or it gets listed by it now and you snap it up, then you can relist it. That person looking for the item might stroll in 3 weeks and pay full price. So that's another really good way, but I don't recommend paying up for stuff that you're not interested in or don't have, you know, that 90%, you'll never have 100%, but that 90% education on the item. It'd be just ludicrous to go around buying stuff at high prices when you don't know anything about it, but that's where the research comes down, and that's all what it is all about, learning your niche and learning these different categories. But that's another way that I've done really well, and same deal, you might think, I've heard, people have told me, and it cracks me up, it actually makes me laugh.
I don't have time to be buying on eBay and scrolling through and trying to find deals.
Yeah, but you got 8 hours this week in op shops, and you come back with like some real shit stuff that you're probably not even going to sell. You bought for the sake of buying because you weren't getting anything and you wasted time. It's kind of same, isn't it? And in my opinion, I actually have more luck buying on eBay and Depop. I've never done Etsy. I don't know if it's a possibility, but it's likely. But anyway, champions, that's me done. I hope these help. I don't know what the shit that was, but they're just some of the sort of methods that I've used over the past 2 years that I just don't hear a lot of people talking about, and I think they've been really, really beneficial to my business because I've picked up some really, really good stock from doing this. And I'm not just talking, you know, occasionally. This is weekly. Like, I'm probably buying too much. I'm buying more than I can sort of handle at the moment. Lucky I have somebody help me list it. But yeah, to put the summary down, it's always back to the same thing.
What else you got?
And being open and honest with your business, and just talking, communicating. It's just the best. It just gets you places, and that's why I've been getting some really good stuff lately. So anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling. I really do hope this helped. If this was sort of helpful to you, let me know below, but also if you're going to start implementing some of these, I'd love to know, and I'd love to hear if you get some success out of it. That'd be really good, because I want to see you all pick up some good deals. And if you do get some really good footy jumpers or toys, let me know, because I'm buying. All right, mate. See you in the next one.